Hi guys, I'm doing a lot of these lives now. It's pretty exciting. Welcome to our live chat. For those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for subscribing, for being patrons. We're in Los Angeles right now because, well, it's Super Tuesday, so we figured this is a great place to come for Super Tuesday. I'm excited because we're doing our first live show tonight, and you guys can watch it right here on this channel live on stage with some exceptional people, many of whom you may recognize. I assume you can't read backwards, so I'm gonna tell you who's on our little flyer. How cool is this? Some activists did an amazing job. Shout out Jason Small for printing these and passing them out at the Bernie rally, which, by the way, hi, like my Bernie shirt that I got at the rally. It's got the fight the power. Yeah. All right. So tonight we're having an amazing show. It's going to be live in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if there are any tickets yet, but if so, you can see them in the information section for those of you who like to do things last minute. But we start airing at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and that is because California polls are closing, and we are focusing on California here in particular. But it's 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. It's going to be here on this channel. We have Michael Brooks from The Michael Brooks Show and The Majority Report, David Dayen from The Intercept and American Prospect, Francesca Fiorentini. She just had that amazing docuseries on Medicare for All on MSNBC. I can't believe they let her on. Thank God. Lucy Flores, who is just, she's a former candidate. She's an activist. She runs a media company. She's a dear friend. She was on the Unity Reform Commission with me. LA Charger, Justin Jackson, and I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I'm going to go through this really fast. Alona Minkowski and Nando Vila from TYT and Majority Report, so many different news outlets. So we're going to be discussing what's happening as the results come in. And two last-minute additions, we have Blake Zeff, who has done an incredible amount of work educating us about Michael Bloomberg. I know him from New York. He has been an activist and a writer in New York, and he's out here now. So he's going to stop by and explain why Michael Bloomberg is dangerous. And then Tommy Sunshine's going to play some music, you know, one of our great surrogates for Bernie Sanders. So tonight, what are we looking forward to here? I think Bernie's going to win California. I think that that's the kind of momentum he needs. I want to just ask everybody to take a breath. Seriously. If you meditate, great time to meditate. I just did a little meditation. There's some construction next door, so they woke me up from my meditation. Woke me up from my medication? Interrupted my meditation. But I say take a breath because, listen, we knew that Joe Biden was going to win South Carolina. We knew that he was going to do well in the South. We knew that all the centrist candidates were going to line up behind Joe Biden. But what we have to remember is it was way worse in 2016. And if all of these candidates, really, if Joe Biden, if his entire strategy, and Michael Bloomberg, if his entire strategy is to win by having a brokered convention and having superdelegates, then they're in big trouble. Because these are the same people who say Bernie can't win against Trump even though he's killing Trump in the polls. These are the same people who say that Medicare for All is not something that we can get elected on. These are the people who say all the smears about electability. But at the end of the day here, let's keep this in mind. If you can't win through a democratic process, if you can't win actual voters, the plurality of actual voters, and your entire strategy is to win through superdelegates that are your best friends, how are you going to defeat Donald Trump? How are you going to build a movement overnight in 3 months to defeat Donald Trump? That ain't happening. The only person in this race who has a multiracial, multi-generational, working class movement that is organizing in every single community in America, doing the work that the Democratic Party failed to do under Barack Obama's leadership. And I'm not saying that to attack him. I'm saying that's just, we lost 1,200 seats when the DNC, under the Obama DNC. If you can't build that movement. How are you going to defeat Donald Trump's movement? He has consolidated the Republican Party. The Republican Party is, despite not really having the numbers, they have the organizing on the ground. And Bernie Sanders has that organizing too. Joe Biden does not. Joe Biden barely had any money left before South Carolina. He'll have a little bit more money. He'll be able to pull a little bit of momentum from the endorsements, maybe. But yeah, I don't even think any delegates really. He'll maybe pull a couple of delegates, a couple of points, some momentum going into these states, enough to disrupt Bernie Sanders, possibly even enough to get to a brokered convention, although I still think that's highly unlikely. But at the end of the day, how is he going to do on stage with Trump? Just throwing it out there. How's he going to do? What kind of attacks do you think Donald Trump is going to throw at Joe Biden? How do you think Donald Trump is going to treat Joe Biden, who's had some issues on stage? We got to be real. How do you think that's going to go down? How do you think it's going to go down when Donald Trump is organized in every single community because they have a Republican Party that's activated, and Joe Biden has a splintered party where activists are annoyed that there was a brokered convention? How do you think that's going to work for winning back Congress? They're saying that Bernie Sanders isn't good for people, for down ballot races, yet he's organized in every single community. He's bringing in independents. He's bringing in young people. He's bringing in disengaged voters. He's bringing in the working class that's been dismissed for the last decade. That's going to help everybody. Alternatively, Joe Biden doesn't have a clear message. He's running on a similar kind of message as Hillary Clinton. Bernie has a message. He has a movement. He has the vision. And if they are not, and he's got the votes, because they're not going to win with a plurality. They're only going to win with backroom deals if they do. So if he has all of these things, Bernie has it all being handed to the Democratic Party on a silver platter, right? And the Democrats don't want to take it, and they want to invest in Joe Biden, who will almost surely hand the nomination to Donald Trump. Then what are the Democrats doing? And I say Democrats, I don't mean all Democrats. I mean some folks who like to cling to power, who are the status quo, who are the establishment, and who are unwilling to challenge the corporate interests of the Democratic Party. I want to know, do they think you're going to win? You think this is going to go well? The writing is on the wall here, guys. I want you to mark this day right now, March 3rd. The way that we warned about Hillary Clinton, this is much more clear. They are basically saying, we're going to support a candidate who can't win the majority of Democratic voters or plurality of Democratic voters, and we're going to give him the nomination with all of his baggage and all of his issues and no organizing on the ground and no donors, no small donors, and you think that guy is going to beat Donald Trump. Alternatively, you have Bernie Sanders, who has all of the movement. He's raised the most money out of anybody in this race right now, aside from Donald Trump, and definitely off of small dollar donations. These people are energized, they're focused, and let's bring it back to the issues here. They're struggling. And if Joe Biden isn't answering to them, Donald Trump may still try to find a way to answer to them. So I want to know, Democratic establishment, do you really want to win? Or is this more about making money being in opposition to Trump? Because there's a lot of money right now to be made when you're running against Donald Trump, when you're building organizations against Donald Trump. So with that, I got to preserve my voice. We are going on at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Yes, that's late, but it's an election night. And I'm pretty sure that this is the coverage that MSNBC wishes it could have. I mean, these are all people who have been on cable news and have been in the media and know their facts, know their issues very well. And we are going to bring it to the stage and have a lot of fun with it. So, yeah. Oh, and I think that Michael Brooks is going to stream it as well. And the Majority Report is going to do some live streaming with us from the stage. But, of course, I want you guys to come here because we're building our channel. And the faster we build our channel, the more we can hire people to do some great, cutting up clips and build a studio. I mean, at my parents' house right now, so I'm not going to build a studio at my parents' house. But, building a studio at my house, I have a better backdrop. Yeah, all the stuff that you want. We can assess cable news clips. If anybody wants to find, last night I was on Fox News at 11 o'clock at night, and I debated a Bloomberg consultant. It's definitely an interesting conversation. So if you can find that, I would love to discuss it with you, but I just haven't had time to find it yet. It was at 11 o'clock Eastern on Shannon Bream's show. All right. See you tonight. I have to go get pretty. Oh, I'm not on my computer. I'm like touching my computer because I feel like I'm 95 years old. All right. We will see you later tonight right here on this stream, 7:30 Pacific. Thanks, guys.